Right, we're live. Sorry, I didn't have my mic on. Can you hear me, Flav?
Yep, I can hear you. Is it the same link?
Yeah. I just said, here's a little quiz. See what people's football knowledge is up to. I just said, but the mic wasn't on. Good morning, Andrew. What is that from? I know Flav knows.
I know, I love it.
I just wonder if anyone knows.
Good morning, Andrew.
I don't think anyone knows.
No, it's quite niche.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's from the Portsmouth fan channel, who had a quite a high profile piece on him on Twitter this week. Did I put it in our group?
Yeah.
Him and his dad were brilliant. And now he's like a full grown man with a beard that I could never dream of. So weird.
Yeah, I do you prefer the one when he was a child or what he has become?
I think like most things, it's always better when it's more raw at the start. They had a lovely relationship as well.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Flav's got home, but we're both feeling pretty ropey.
Home.
Pretty ropey.
Knackered.
Shagged.
Hang on shagged. Honestly, shagged. Fortunately, no, very, very little shagging. Was offered a couple of sexual advances. A lot of hands. There was a lot of hands on me.
Really? That's a shame.
Not on a sexy level, really. It was on a thoughtful level. But I haven't even been home yet. I've been home briefly to walk the dog, and then I've come to the office because James was like, "We've got to do the mailbag." And I'm like, "I don't want to fucking do it. I'm tired." And he's like, "You got to." So here we are. It's more or less how the conversation went, wasn't it?
That was your inner monologue. Should I tell people the truth?
Yeah, go on.
The truth was, I wrote, can we do 4:30? You wrote, yeah. The spin. Look. Do you know what's amazing? I'm looking at a chat now, and it's all so different. Do you know what I mean? I know some of the guys now. I've felt the sweet embrace of a Thomas Martin. Do you know what I mean? I've felt the sweet
what a
embrace
guy.
of Catherine.
What a guy. I mean, we got to talk about, but everyone was so lovely, but Thomas, he comes across, Thomas. Not only is he supremely talented at singing opera, and it's not a fucking joke. The geezer is
yeah. Do you know what? That's a very good point. That's a very good point, because I think what you could do, and forgive me, Tom, I'm not saying opera's a joke. It's obviously clearly incredible, but what you could easily do is kind of see it as a joke, and in the context and scenario of which Thomas had to perform, it's slightly odd, isn't it? Yeah. However. And I'm so pleased I got it on my phone, because a part of me was thinking, do you want to get your phone out here? Are you putting more pressure on the poor lad? No, this guy knows what he's doing. And the crescendo will live with me forever. It was fucking unbelievable. So good.
Yeah, so not only is he a legitimate opera, because in my head I thought, that sort of fits, right? It's a bit odd. You know, coming to watch a live show in a pub, central London, and then rounding it off with, you know, a bit Nigel Martin's son singing opera. That is completely Jaffn, right?
Yeah.
But then when he started singing, I was like, "Oh my god!" I knew he could sing. I knew he could sing because we saw the video. But this was something else, man. It was unreal.
Yeah, that's a good point. Unreal. Great advertisement for live music, because you can see a clip or whatever. But he fucking hit that note. Fuck me, hit that note. God.
And I was, as I was listening to him, I was going, please, don't
hit the note. I knew it was coming, didn't you? You know that note's coming, don't you?
Yeah, I didn't want him to miss. He didn't. He knew he wasn't going to miss.
Nah, he's solid, wasn't he? He was
solid. And what was really lovely this morning was Nigel Martin, the Nigel Martin,
the fucking
tweet,
Martin.
replying to
Tom
your
Martin's
tweet.
Dad. Forget that. That's the spin now. We got to spin it now. Fuck you, Nigel. Sorry, Tom. Fuck you, Nigel. You are nothing to me. You are just Tom Martin's dad.
I mean, all right. That's quite harsh.
You know what I'm getting at.
If you want to come on the pod, though, Nigel, you're welcome.
I think there's Nigel Martin introducing Thomas Martin at the next live show.
And do you know what's lovely about him? He's kind. He just has a kind person. He has a lovely aura about him, and that was what I really liked. As did everybody there.
It was good. Yeah, man, it was fucking class. Such a good night. We We've had our little debrief, haven't we? I'm intrigued to know what everyone else thought. How do we improve? What can we do?
No, there's tons. But the way I saw it, the whole thing was, let's just get it done, right? The first off was we've been talking about this for 4 years. We haven't done it. Now we've done it. There's loads of things I think we could do to actually improve it as a show and actually do it. Put some thought into it rather than a half an hour conversation last week.
Yeah.
Put some
hindsight,
actual.
I wonder if I was a little bit too chilled out.
You had a lot on. But no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like it went well. I think people enjoyed it. And all the feedback. I mean, I doubt anyone was going to ever come up to you and go, "That was shit, mate."
Yeah.
But you could see, people I spoke to, they had a good time and it was funny and that's all I wanted. But yeah, we could put much more time and effort into it, and having a screen behind would be useful, and mics that worked and stuff like that would have helped. But
yeah, those things happen. But like we were just saying before we started, I think like some of those little technical problems is something we'll probably like be more aware of and look to just kind of check again from our point of view. So I like the venue in terms of oh, hang on, sorry, I've got to keep. My son's asleep. I've just got to keep an eye on him, an ear on him. Oh, bless him. Look, he's asleep there.
You should.
He's asleep. I can see it. You can see it bigger and better, couldn't you? I think you could definitely see it miles better. Yeah, there's 80 people in the mailbag because we thought, as this one-off for everyone that was a live show, we can sort of just let them be a part of the debrief.
So the dries are in the house, basically.
One must beware the dries. So it's not private Ollie. Ollie feels naked. Ollie, you're right. Ollie, you okay? Ollie didn't turn up, did he? Didn't see Ollie there.
No, he went to see his mate was doing a marathon on Sunday.
Doing a marathon on Monday night.
He couldn't make it on Monday night. We had a Ben. Ben was there, probably in the chat somewhere. Ben had been out in Birmingham, been out in Bristol, then got the train to London, do the live show, and then, because I caught up with him on the way home, he did the train. Then got a train all the way down to St Austell or thereabouts in Cornwall. Got in at 7 a.m. this morning. Right, Ollie went to Brighton on Sunday afternoon.
Could make
That's his excuse.
Too tight. It's too tight.
Couldn't make it. Yeah, too tight.
Yeah, too tight.
Too tight.
I'd love to, guys. I'd love to be there. Just a bit too. I don't want to risk it and miss it. Because then what's the point? Well, and actually, other people I know, a lad called Tim, who knew he was going to be late, but still wanted to come down just to say hello.
Yeah,
but to be fair,
there was a woman there who had never heard the podcast. Did you see her, James? I clocked her really early on.
Was she the one that we spoke to?
Yes.
And you were like, leave her alone. Yeah.
Yes, because there were bits where, especially we were talking, the whole room was chanting about the female, anatomy.
Breasticles, as you said.
Breasticles, yeah.
Yeah. Well dodged.
It was playful, innit? It's not like.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's playful, isn't it?
Yeah. There was that, and I glanced at her, and she just there was no emotion on her face, and I was like, oh dear, she doesn't watch the pod, which is fine. There's 1 in 200 people that were there, but when you asked the questions, she was fine, and I guess that was the biggest.
Didn't she?
She done well.
She did two things. She was. You could tell the people that didn't really watch it because they either their eyes went at different times. Their eyes either went wider or went closed due to confusion or shock.
What is going on?
About. Ollie says we're pushing him away. Well, how can we push you away when you're so far away already?
Yeah, Ollie, when we actually invite you to come and you don't come, how is that us pushing you away? The relationship. There's another geezer, Sonny, who's probably in here somewhere.
Yeah.
He went, look, the what was it? The ethnic breakdown of that audience is shocking. Something along that. Because there was a lot of white men there.
Sure.
You weren't there.
Yeah.
You could have come in and changed that.
We could have done with it. We could have done with it.
Yeah.
Thank God for Devang Shah, who was there, who's an OG. He's been there from the start.
Yeah. It was quite. I mean, not that this matters, and I'm not paying much attention, but it was quite there wasn't much ethnic diversity there at all, was it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what does that say. I mean, are we
Are
maybe
we?
Sonny? How can we improve on that? You know, are we sort of
Are
are we
you?
somehow?
Are we? So do
I
we?
don't
Are we
know.
sort of on a? Do we give off like a?
I mean,
What
I give
kind
a
of vibe?
very white vibe off, don't I? If we're honest.
Yeah. Well, so do I.
Yeah. At least you've got the
Yeah.
Cockney thing going. I'm sort of like from Surrey. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I can do.
Look,
I don't
it's
know what
not.
I
It's
can
not a conscious. It isn't a conscious thing. It's not something we we'd like to change. We'd like to encourage anybody to come along, but can't make them.
do. It was so white in hindsight.
It's well, white on
Yeah,
it.
Thank God Catherine was
just
there as well. Catherine just give us something. Do you know what I mean? Like a woman. Fantastic.
Yeah, and
Catherine
she
said
had
to me yesterday, she was like,
colourful hair as well.
yeah, she had
which is
colourful
like-
hair. Yeah, thank God.
Good.
She was saying, like, I know I'm always was always part of like 3%, but like when you're in a room and you see it, it's just like, bless
Yeah.
her.
Yeah,
it was,
no, I mean, I think look, I would love more women to be there, and I would love everybody to, have a melting pot of different cultures would be lovely, but I don't know what we can do.
How many?
It's kind of-
Maybe we can swap some people. If
I mean,
you're
this
a
is-
real moisty, you'd sacrifice yourself for someone who's a minority.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Why are we doing this? Let's move on because this
Don't
one's
know.
public. This one's public. I don't want to get done.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was amazing.
Cancelled.
It was amazing, and it was so many people that Andrea. I was saying to you on the phone, Andreas Niku. I was waiting. I've never seen his face. I was like, it's Andreas
Yeah.
Niku.
He came up when we was watching it. He just sort of floated by and he went, "Hello." I went, "All right, mate." And as soon as he heard Andrew, I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember you, of course." Jack Hancock says,
Andreas looks like he'd be great in Goodfellas. Like he'd be a sort of like not the main character, but like one of them.
He looks like Christopher a little bit from Sopranos. Jack Hancock says, "If I brought my missus along, she would have immediately left me." I don't tell my missus doesn't know anything about this podcast. She knows it happens, but she finds it so confusing, and it is confusing. There were times, even though that we have essentially, and the people that listen to Jaffn have created all of the in jokes in there. There was moments last night where I was a bit like, "What is this?
Sure.
What is going on? Why is everyone chanting tits?"
Tom Griffiths. Yeah, that was. I mean, that's an old one, Nick. Tits. Didn't really.
Yeah, but then you had to ask me to explain it, and so when you asked me to explain it, James, you saw me kind of faff that up, right? Because I just looked at this woman who wasn't reacting, right? And you said to me, what's the sort of etymology of the tits chant? And I was like, basically what it is, I'll say it freely now, because I'm not in a room and people staring at me. Tottenham were playing Prague. There was a woman in the Prague end, and she just kept flashing her tits at the Spurs support. And the Spurs support, and we're talking 5,000-6,000 Spurs, all were just staring at her rather than the game. Because how often do you get, not often, just like, breasts in your face. Oh, well, not in your face anyway, they're far. Anyway, so every time she did it, everyone went, tits!
Like the Iceland
tits! Yeah. And she obliged. And it was also in the newspaper the next day. It was big
very
news.
carry on.
So but I just felt
very carry on.
And it's also of a different time. You're talking about mid 2000s. Now I don't think you'd have it. Yeah. But she was. She did display the
sexual, wasn't it?
It turned some of the men in that crowd into animals. They were trying to climb over the gates, trying to get to her.
Mouth, just screaming tits,
just frothing at the mouth at this Czech woman showing her boobs.
Breasticles. Tom Griffith says, swap James for McCullough. Shout. Good shout.
No. Jim, did you like the bit where I dropped in? You can't have sex on a full course meal.
I could have done without that. I went with it. That was a private conversation me and Flavin had prior to the live show. Although I feel like we've discussed it on the mailbag actually. But yeah, just sort of had to go down that road for a bit. I mean, I stand by it.
You can't have sex on a 3-course meal. That's ridiculous.
What if it's
just Sunday lunch?
What's the
Like,
3-course meal that you could get away with?
you're talking about salmon and rice cakes and stuff like that, maybe then, and then obviously like a cream cheese, and then maybe sort of fruit for dessert.
Yeah, yeah, like a scallop starter. Then, well, actually, if you don't want double fish, is anyone else like that? You know, like if I have fish for the start, I don't want fish for the main.
No, 100%. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm not with fish. But yeah, like yeah. So you need it's a light. You'd have a light one, right?
Yeah, you want to stay away from bread, pasta, things like that.
Yeah. Any sort of heavy meat, like if you had someone just mentioned 3 spag bowls, 1 spag bowl would be too much.
Yeah.
You're not feeling sexy off a spag after a spag bowl.
Or just got much food in your gut, haven't you? Don't want.
It's just you're what are you calling it? You're digesting. Do you want to know why you get so tired? Often you get tired after you've eaten, especially like Christmas dinner. Is your body's putting so much work into digesting the food in your stomach. Blood essentially is being directed towards the stomach in order to help you digest. And that's often where you get a fatigue after eating loads, if you've overeaten. So you can't expect me to maintain an erection for 7 or 8 minutes in that state.
Yeah, and I think the other thing as well is, let's be honest, when we're as men, when we're naked, we're tensing as much as we can, just to sort of hold in the gut. So if you add on a 3-course meal, it's just impossible, isn't it?
James, do you still hold your belly in for the missus?
I honestly think literally my entire life up until, well, from the months of October to February this year is the first time I've literally just not been tensing all the time. I'm tensing right now. I'm not even thinking.
Same. All night last night I was holding my belly in. I think.
Yeah, I think you just naturally. Like I say, like this last 6 months is probably, but it's all falling away at the moment because I've been injured and I've not been too busy.
James,
but
you look good.
We'll get there.
You look good. I noticed it last night. I thought you looked good. You look very trim.
Thanks, mate. Right, it's sort of start. You see it first when it's sort of starting. I can feel it starting to come back. I need to get back in the gym. But just generally we do. I'm half tensed. Yeah, I think some bro says. I think we're all. I think that's just a man thing. A normal man will always be like that.
Yeah. So like my missus, if I'm getting changed. She knows. Like she's seen me in all kinds of states. I don't know why I have to, all kinds of states. The most drunk I've ever been, borderline paralytic, seen horrendous things, no doubt. But I still feel the need when I'm, putting some new pants on.
Do you know what? Do you know what as well though? You'll do like if you're facing away, you'll let out. And then as you turn around to grab your trousers off the bed, tensing, going back out, out, then going back in, up, posture up. It's just the life we have to lead. We're just innocent men, as Thomas Griffith says.
Yeah, just normal men.
Just normal men. Indeed. We've got loads of questions for said mailbag, so we can dive in.
Can I just say something quickly before we go into the questions? I got slightly irritated, and I'm sure he's listening and watching this, with a bloke at the end of the game because he was being not about the goal. I'm sure there's questions about that, but not about the goal, not about the football at all. But he was being supportive because he's a Leeds fan, and obviously we both wanted Everton to win, so he's kind of watching it with me.
Right.
But his hands were so hot. And they were on my back and my shoulder blades for about 10 minutes. And I was like, mate, I don't want to be rude, but your hands are boiling and they're really hot here. I'm quite stressed about the football. Can you please just not have your hands all over my back and my neck? And it was like, yeah. And obviously, because he was pissed, he obviously forgot within a second. And the hands were on my back. And I was like, this is so uncomfortable. So if I came across rude, I apologise there, mate. But your hands were fucking hot.
Yeah. One must wear hot hands. Yeah. Can't be. Like I had a mate at school who had just probably still does to this day. Sorry, Co's coughing a bit. Just has clammy hands, like incredibly clammy hands.
Yeah, it must be. That's not a nice thing to have to live with, is it?
Yeah. We I had this. I don't know if I told you this.
Yeah, that was it. Jack said I kept seeing that guy try and comfort you. It was entertaining. Yeah, I know it was. That's exactly what he was doing. It was like He was trying to comfort me through a very stressful period,
Right.
but his hands were too hot for it to be effective.
Yeah, that's tough. And what can you do? How do you cool? You can't go cool them, can you? You can only heat them. We can only heat hands. You can't chill. You can't chilly hands, can you? What can you do?
Nah.
So just take them off you. Basically, that's what you're trying to say. I had a bit of beef as well. Tom Jordan's in the chat. Good to see you, Tom. No problem with you, but your co-star back of the net sort of just go, oh, we do a video of us. Of course I would. You've come down here. It would be my honour. And I've got a rum and coke in my hand, which is always a dangerous thing. I'd made the move from Guinness to spirits, which is not smart. And Sam, that's right. Sam's, can we just get your thoughts on Bournemouth? I was like, of course, let's go upstairs, let's do that. Let's get that for you, okay? And he starts by reminding me that he called me I'm the James Corden of YouTube. And I was like, what does that? What? So I'm universally hated by everyone? Am I incredibly irritating, slightly podgy, harsh? He went, no, just that you're everywhere. The way he said everywhere as well. I was like, you're fucking everywhere. I was like, okay, yeah, still not going well. But go on, let's crash on. And then we do the interview. I'm incredibly positive about Bournemouth. I'd say it's about the home form that could keep you up.
Yeah.
And all the while, just sort of, he's got this little camera, and I can see my face in it. I'm just thinking, bet my eyes are bad. You're drunk. Like I'm trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about. And then right at the end, he makes a joke about the hacker. Less of that. Poor.
Can I ask a question? Firstly, why wasn't I asked to fucking talk about Bournemouth? He's not even in the league. I'm in the league. I've seen you play. Yeah. Right? So firstly, why wasn't I asked? And secondly, I said to Tom about 15 times, do not rely on Tottenham Hotspur. Do not rely on Tottenham Hotspur. We are not going to be able to help you tonight. This is not what we do. And he said this. I made it clear to him. And afterwards he went, thanks for the help, mate. And I told you what was going to happen. Didn't I?
Yeah. I barely saw any of it, to be honest. All I saw was the sending off, which was just incredibly obvious.
Can't scratch a man's eye, can he?
Yeah. Sean Dyche was so funny. He was trying to save it he straight away because he was in shot. He was like, no. And I'm like, Sean, I think you're going to struggle there. Okay.
I'm getting dug out here by Tom and Catherine saying, yeah, we saw you leave in a huff. I wasn't in a huff. It was very hot.
Rumours of the Daily Mail Online. Flav leaves in huff. Rumours of huff.
I was tired, and remember I'm 41, not 21 like you lot, and I just thought I'd need my bed. Yeah. So I went to bed.
That is the good thing that although I did have to talk about how crap QPR were with everyone, at least I didn't have to be in the sort of hot embers of a last minute wonder strike by
fucking goal and a half. What a strike!
Unbelievable. Were you crying? Tom says.
No, I wasn't.
Are you crying?
Are you crying?
I think if someone said that to me, I think I'd be more. My eyes would start to go. I can imagine, especially my eyes. You know what I'm like.
Anyway. Not really. Like I said, like Spurs have. You don't feel anything. The funny thing about this, right, is he scored this screamer naturally because obviously I understand it. I'm a Spurs fan. We've been talking about Tottenham for years, and all the people have been listening to the show for years. So they obviously they're going to look at me when Keane scores a fucking 30-yard screamer to draw level in a game which they'd been smashing us in anyway. Mm. So what can I do? I just keep catching people's eyes, Jim, and just going, rolling my eyes up. What can you do? That bloody Michael Keane.
Mate, I mean, what can you do?
All I can do is just roll my eyes.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Huff cracks. Yeah. Right, questions. For those of you who are dry, so the Moisties and us just sort of get together and have a little chin wag, and we look at all sorts of stuff. We were looking at the darts last week. I can't speak.
I heard that a lot last night as well.
Like
can't speak.
I can't. He may hit. Yeah. What was it? Michael may hit and Michael may miss. He may have a spoon. He may not have a spoon. That was great. I think everyone's. Someone said right near the end of the night, I did something like someone went that he's done it again or something. A few people did it, and then I did it. They sort of looked at me and I did it, and I heard someone of them go, "I've been waiting for that all night." It's funny, isn't it? I can't speak. Right, John D. What really happened at the live show? Give a 20-second summary of the live show.
It was one of the warmest, most loveliest atmospheres to be in, full of very positive people. Shame there wasn't, more culturally diverse people, but
too warm when it came to the hands.
A lot of warm hands. But generally, look, it was a mini celebration of the podcast that we've all created together with the audience. The podcast isn't anything without the thing that makes this different from all other podcasts out there is about the people that watch it more so than us. So to put that into a sort of a practical experience that we had last night was amazing, and just to hear the reaction and talk to people afterwards was just a wonderful thing. Because a lot of these names we see on a screen, but they're obviously they're real people. Like, for example, I play Rocket League a load, and been playing with Ben for maybe 18 months, a couple of years. And at the end of the night, I was walking off because I wasn't sure we could make it. Because, like I said, he's all over the country this week. And then I just went, "See you later, Flav. We'll have a game of Rocket League soon." I heard it and I was like, "Fuck, that's Ben." Walk round. He's been sitting in front of us the whole whole evening, just in front of us. I was like,
"What's Ben's surname? Do you know Ben's surname?"
I don't know.
Has he got glasses? Was he wearing glasses?
No, he didn't have glasses. He had boots. Right. That picture I posted on Twitter is there on the right hand side.
Oh, okay.
And it was just lovely to talk to him and meet him and all the people meet him. It was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. And actually, I thought maybe it would be like a splash and dash. Do you know what I mean? Like, do it once, get it over and done with, and then never think about it again. But I think there might be a second date, Jim.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think we could do it. I tell you what, major tournament would be. Maybe I'm dreaming a bit too big, but how good would that be?
A game that doesn't involve Spurs, that'd be great.
Yeah, like an England game, I think would be class.
Yeah, that would be good. In a bigger place. I mean, there's probably, I don't know if we want more people, but we could have done more tickets. There's a lot of people asking for tickets after the fact.
Yeah, I got a lot of that. And it was fucking amazing. And like the end, like you say, with the names here now, like, so like, is it James? Where's James? James Robbins. James, you're the guy with the cool glasses, aren't you? And you're tall. See, I know the face now.
Is he the one that looks exactly like me? Did you notice that geezer?
Yeah, I don't think he looked exactly like you. Had thick glasses on, like you only had a beard. Yeah.
He looked like me.
Okay.
They all look like me.
Yeah, everyone looks like you.
Or I look like them.
Yeah, just loads of names. It's good.
No, I'm thinking how regular, Jim? I'm thinking once, like every quarter, maybe we could do this. At least twice a year.
I think, we need to figure it out. Like, how do you top the Thomas Martin ending, though? Like, that's what I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
I need Nigel to do some singing or something like that. I don't know. Like,
we've got time.
I don't know. Just like get Nigel Martin to do a striptease or something. Pole dancing.
I'm not sure he'd be up for it.
You sure? Well, we can only ask him.
Mm.
Robert Turner, flying on my way to Darwin in the airport as I speak after my flight on Sunday got cancelled. Have you ever had any inconveniences flying? Robert, that is the worst fucking question I think I've ever read out in my life.
Read it back.
Have you ever had any inconveniences flying? That is terrible. Although I have got a good story actually. We went. So I went to Morocco last week. Some people caught me out. They went, like, there wasn't a thing in the podcast last week, and you seem to have a tan now, James. What's going on?
You didn't actually say you went on holiday, did you? Say we can't do this. We're not doing a pod this week, and it could have been anything. It could have been illness. Could have been anything, and you just went on holiday.
International break. Yeah. So on the flight, it was a bit of a race to get to the. I won't tell you about that because that's boring. But the bit that was, I couldn't believe it. We'd had an incredibly tense sort of journey to get to our gate in time. And just before that, I was like, right, oh, love, can I go to the toilet? Because if anyone knows me, I have the tiniest bladder, so I just have to go to the toilet all the time whenever it's available. So I went to go to the toilet. As I went to the toilet, there was a guy there who was at least 25 stone and really, 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 really smelt bad, like really bad. And I was sort of like, whatever, like, I'm sure he's like, it's not something you can do. It's like the clammy hands, like, what can you do? But I can't even. I thought, like, I know that me and my wife and our son are going to be on 2 seats. We're hoping for a spare seat, but I was like, wow, God, that's sat on a plane. That's going to be tough. Do you know what I mean? To sort of just get through that. Anyway, we realised that the flight is very, very packed, and I'm sort of asking, like, is there any spare seats, like, just so we could have like maybe a 3, so we got like somewhere for him to like bounce and stuff. And they were like, oh no, it's a completely full flight. I was like, oh, okay. And when I was going to say to fam, I was like, oh God, there was a guy in there. I hope we're not sat with him. And I didn't say it because you're just like, well, why? And anyway, then as we sat down, everyone's sort of filling in the spaces, blah, blah, blah. You can probably guess where this is going.
Yeah.
And he starts to kind of come up, and I was just like, no way. And he had bless him, he had to have the seat by the window. And he probably knew, because he wouldn't. The row in front were very rude. They weren't very nice. They were like
mean to him.
Yeah, they were like putting their scarf over their like mouths and stuff like that. And bless him, he like even like you got a little glass of water. Even that, he was trying not to lift his arms. He like didn't move for like a 4-hour flight. Poor lad.
The thing is that because he's
cheers, Rob.
Yeah. Because he's overweight in that instance, it probably is difficult. It wouldn't take much to break out in a sweat. Do you know what I mean? So, that's a shame. I'd never ever embarrass someone like that ever.
No, and he was a sweetheart as well. Anyway, Rob, question. Shame on you. People want a ban for Robert. 1 week ban, 2 week ban for that. Lifetime bans is more.
Tell you what, Robert. Tell you what. How about you fuck off?
Yeah. Just
forever.
You're not banned. Just fuck off and have a think.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Just fuck off, Robert. Robert, just fuck off.
Fuck off.
It's not a ban. I can't even
fucking questions.
I can't be asked with it. I can't be asked with going 1 week ban. Or is he? How many days has gone? Is he back?
Yeah. Just fuck off.
Just go fuck yourself, mate.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing that we're at a stage like our audience is like family, where we can go, you start reading something, go, that shit. I'm not fucking reading that, mate. Sorry.
I think there's a line, James. I think there's something we must beware, getting not hitting that right.
I was telling you no, because I was like going through like, oh, we've got a couple of ideas to do this and that. I was saying this to my dad, and my dad was like, "Well, do remember that they have come a long way." They love it. They love it.
He had a bit about the dry and moist slug, and I think we tone that down somewhat. Yeah. Because sometimes, I generally think like, do you know? I'll tell you what. A case in point here, where I'm starting to become more self-conscious is, we on the podcast last week, I said that Harry Kane, Modric, and Vertonghen are the 3 best players the Premier League has ever seen. In that order. Obviously, that's nonsense. Like, obviously, I don't believe that. But it's not funny to go, oh, well, that was just a joke. You just leave it, right? Let it hang.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, God, how can you say that? I'm like, well, mate, it's clear I'm joking. How could Vertonghen even be in the top 50 players?
Not in the conversation, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sure. That might be a good thing. Like for like the Moisties know is like, so we'll do at the start. We'll do one of those big debates each Thursday, and you'll just give out a horrific take, just leave it there, or one of us, and just make a terrible.
I don't think it works for you.
Try and find the red herring. We'll put forward a red herring that you've got to kind of argue for.
We used to do this. We used to do this thing on the Fighting Cock podcast called Gone in 60 Seconds. It was something like that, and it was how you have to back the take essentially.
Yeah.
So one of them might have been Sol Campbell was right to leave Tottenham, and then you had to give 60 seconds why he was right.
That's good.
It was good, but in the end it was like stupid because it was like it kind of, I don't know, it was become a bit conceived. It didn't work in the end, but the idea worked, I thought.
Yeah.
But in practice, it didn't work as well. So yeah, it could be like that.
Go this
Poor
week.
takes.
Yeah.
The thing is, your business is actually giving good takes, so maybe, well, not good takes, but ones that you have put a bit of thought into.
Yeah, that's true. Right, we'll think about it. Okay, Ollie Sage, as both professional podcasters now, do you think there's any way that someone can break into the podcast market without a pre-established audience beforehand?
No.
That is a good question.
It is a good question. The answer is no. It's so saturated. I just want these fucking bastards to stop making podcasts. Everyone's doing a podcast. Like, when I started, it was like...
How many have you got? I've got
30. I've got 2, but they effectively got 3, haven't I? Because but I've been here from the start, James.
Yeah.
I was here 13 years.
But I've got a pre-existing audience.
Yeah, look, it's not. Fundamentally, it's just a conversation, isn't it? When people say podcast, but without a pre-existing audience, it is so difficult to grow it because people don't have the time. They're already invested in 4 or 5 podcasts. Like realistically, how many podcasts do you listen to, James, religiously?
Religiously?
Yeah, like you will not miss an episode.
Oh, I don't. I could, because sadly I make so much. I don't actually have time to listen to everyone, but I sort of dip into quite a few, to be honest, depending on how I feel.
How many hours a week do you spend listening to podcasts? Just answer a fucking question.
I don't really. Yeah, well, I don't know what's the right answer.
Forget it. Right, forget it. Just forget it. I'll answer it. Like 4 or 5 podcasts that I'll listen to a week.
Okay,
right?
yeah, snap.
And I'm invested in that, right? I'm interested in them and the people that I'm listening to. And I want a part of that, right? That's 5 hours. And what are you doing when you're podcasting? You're commuting, you're walking the dog, you're in the bath. You're not walking around constantly finding ways to listen to podcasts. Okay? So people have a small period of their week that they're willing to give up to listen to podcasts. It might be 5 or 6 hours commuting. If they've already got 4 or 5 podcasts that's fully established in their psyche they cannot miss, how are you going to get through the just absolute fuck ton of other podcasts that can't get into that 5 hours that people are already... It's impossible. Yeah. It's impossible. It's too late. And this is the thing. It's like media.
Sorry, go on. Finish your point.
No, that's fine. It's fine. It's just if you're a creator now, you need to be looking for new media. You're looking for ways to tap into an audience, not perhaps not going back to, or just acknowledge the fact that it's going to be more difficult for you to start a podcast than it is for you to blow up on TikTok. So maybe put your efforts into that rather than podcasting. Once you've done that, then you can do podcasting, but just find the way to build the audience and do that by using the technology, emerging technology.
I think like there are some podcasts that have used that podcast and clips from it to then build on TikTok, which probably then helps grow their podcast. So that's another way around it, you know. And it's always like you have to try and have content everywhere in a way that works for each medium. That's like, so you can't just put out a podcast and think they'll find you like that.
Yeah, and want people to listen. You get that a lot. So I'm doing a podcast, but no one's listening to it because you're not.
Marketing's everything.
There's no marketing. Yeah. And those like for example, TikTok. This is slightly different from your example, Jim. That you built TikTok, but it was easier for you because you have already a sizable audience on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
But we are an audio podcast, no visual element to what we do at all, really. And so we started building a football TikTok around Tottenham Hotspur with no real pushing towards it, just using the algorithm. And we were hitting numbers about 40, 50,000. Then we got banned for using footage, but it was not banned, but shadow banned or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But there's ways to do it. But you've got to be creative about how you get it out there. But just publishing podcasts isn't going to do it anymore. There is no algorithm that's going to push you.
Yeah.
Unlike there is on TikTok.
Like you have to just fit whatever platform you're on, it's still you, or it can still be your product. But yeah, I think it would. You can't just. Yeah, it's just not. That's not possible. You have to be marketing it. There's literally no other way around it. Although that said, I guess I'm trying to think. But say like my YouTube, I'm not a good example, am I really? I'm trying to think someone who's kind of come through recently. What like the new wave are these TikTok football guys who then sort of move on to doing YouTube stuff. So like Tom Garrett, that's his name, I think.
Yeah.
Like those kind of guys, like that. They're the guys that's the new wave. So you just got to find what wave is the right wave. Do you know what I mean? Like I think a lot of people, like before I did YouTube, I was doing a podcast, and it was failing miserably. So it just sort of takes time, I guess. But yeah, I know what you mean. I wonder if it does feel. Sometimes like I'll see a video or a channel and I'm like, oh, I forgot about that one. It's like your little YouTube like ecosystem's like locked in. You're only like, and I wonder if that creates a bit of a ceiling. I'm intrigued because there's so much stuff on YouTube. Good question, Ollie. Well done. 1-1. You're even. Yeah. Josh Rogers, you can come back. Fuck in, not fuck off. Josh Rogers, what was it like seeing all these people that travelled, some for like 5 hours to see you? That's fucking awesome. There was Theo, who is Greek, an Olympiakos fan. He cut his holiday short so that he could come back from Greece to come to the live show. Fucking dude. And there's a lad from Glasgow as well.
What?
Came down. Yeah. I think he was in London anyway.
Did they have a good time?
Yeah, I think so. I think I got a message from... Well, I got quite a few messages from people that seem to have a really good time, so... Yeah, no, it was great. It's very cool.
That's very, very... that's a one... Yeah, it's lovely. It's really, really lovely. It was lovely, Josh, to answer your question. Josh also has a TikTok.
But he can't do it because he's got a job now and he's not allowed to have his face out there on TikTok. Sadly.
What kind of job have you got, Josh, that stops you from doing that? I'm interested.
I know this.
Do you?
I want to say advertising of some sort. He's not here right now, but yeah.
He is. Let us know.
Chat? Okay.
Comments here.
Tom Jordan, have you ever attended a live event where the support actor stole the show? In other news, did you know that singer Thomas Martin's dad used to play for England? Yeah, I knew that played out exactly as I was hoping for. I was very proud of the audience.
Yeah,
they didn't ruin it for me.
No, and look, when he started singing, do you remember he was talking about doing an abridged version, like a short one? 3 minutes is like, it felt like a lot. As soon as he started singing, I was like, this is brilliant. I fucking love this. The smile on my face watching him sing. And I've done this already, but it was just wonderful. And it was a brilliant, brilliant way to end the live show. And because it can be a bit of a damp squid sometimes. You know, all right, well, that's it. Cheers, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, boom. Yeah, but you hear the mic. Boom.
Yeah, boom.
Yeah, that's true. What he did as well, he held his nerve because the music was too low initially, and he needed it much higher. And he stood firm, and he said, can you go back to the start, please?
Yeah,
and that didn't happen initially. He just kept calm. He said, "Can you fucking?" I could hear his inner monologue go, "Can you just fucking play back to the start?" And he did.
Yeah, we got it done, and he got it done.
Yeah. I came down the stairs like near the end. You'd gone off crying in a huff by that point, and it's a joke. And everyone was just singing "There's Only One Thomas Martin." It's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, it's so good. On my Insta stories.
I liked how I don't know if it was your girlfriend or your friend, Tom, but she kept saying just supportively on the back, he's really good. He's really good, you know. Like that, and I was like, you're going to sing in? Yeah, he's really good. She was so excited to see you sing, and I think she knew what the reaction was going to be, which was really nice to see.
Yeah, very cool. Where are we? Giss Goose. Giss Goose, were you there? And if so, what was your name? Did we chat? Which moisty differed most from your expectations? Hats off on what looked like a roaring success. Oh, you weren't there then. It was different.
What was the question?
Andreas Niku. I just didn't have a picture of his face. I had dark hair in my head, but that was it. Everyone else is exactly what I thought they were going to be.
Well, being Greek, there's only...
Well, that's it. That's all I had. That's all I had. Yeah, I didn't know what he was going to look like. No, I had a very lovely face. I really enjoyed your face. I was very impressed with how there was a lot of really good-looking men there.
There was, weren't he? I tell you, who was a good-looking bloke. The Frankie, the geezer who done our design. We didn't mention it yesterday, but he did all the artwork for us.
Yeah, his name's Harry.
No, it's not.
I'm pretty sure it's
Harry. It? Yeah. Chelsea fan that came and told the story.
No, that's Freddie. He didn't do the. He didn't do the drawing though.
Yeah, he did. No, not the drawing. I'm talking about the artwork.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up.
Oh, yeah, that was good. He was handsome.
He was very good looking. And there was another guy, I think it was called Julian, who was a... Oh, there's Freddie there. Hello, mate. How you doing? Freddie told us a horrific story, which I'm not repeating.
No, that was the Freddie. That's the worst. Yeah, and there was a slight glee. We can't talk about it because I'm never repeating it again. No. And I will never forget it.
Leave it.
I will never...
Yeah, what was I going to say?
No, if it's not something... Imagine... No, it wouldn't have made it in, would it? Imagine if you'd read that out.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. Yeah.
There was
a guy called Julian, sorry. There was a guy called... He can't speak. There's a guy called Julian who was like really good looking and he was like doing a master's degree in neuroscience. What a dreamboat. I said to his missus, said you've done well there, love.
Yeah. Apparently, it was a lady there that worked, or someone there that was like a high-flying barrister, like huge, like massively successful. And I'm like, I didn't believe it because why the fuck would you be there listening to us?
Well, you're not saying that. It's not mutually exclusive that you're not going to be, that you couldn't become a barrister if you listen to this. I don't think you're saying.
I don't think you could. No. I don't. If this is what you're into, there's no chance you're going to be a proper success in life. I don't think.
Everyone has little side things.
Little side hustle.
Just before we went down the stairs, didn't we? We were up the back, and there was like the most ridiculous caricatures of posh people. Do you remember that bit?
No.
Like, we were having a fight there. What were they saying?
Yeah, they're talking about
to each other. They look so. Yeah, talking about the bar. That's it. That's crazy.
It was like they didn't. I mean, it's hard to articulate without you being there. One of them ones, but
yeah,
it wasn't. You said me, are they real? I was like, yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
they were talking about the bags. They had these briefcases, and this bloke was talking about this fucking briefcase for about. Anyway, this is probably very boring.
Yeah. Right, hang on. I've lost my questions. Where are they? Here they are. Oh, what's going on? There's some weird thing going on with. Oh, bloody. That's never happened before. Patreon's just gone a bit funny for a second. How odd.
Is it not working?
I think we're okay. Hang on, load more comments.
I mean, but no, look, I'm not. Lloyd says, thanks, love, Flav, putting down my life goals. I mean, go off and achieve, but I just think there's like.
But just don't expect to achieve. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just surprised that someone that's as that successful would choose to spend their. It's the kind of career. I'm digging a hole here.
Yeah, leave it. Reese. Oh, okay. Oh, hang on. All right, let me ask a question to you, Flav. Koa started crying.
Just give me. Share your screen and I'll do the questions while you go and see him.
Okay.
But I need to see your screen on Twitter.
Yeah. On it.
Because I cannot see it.
I can't speak.
Can't speak.
Okay.
Where are? Oh fuck! I can't. All right, I'll try and fill this out as lost. Bring him up. Why don't you bring him up?
What do you mean bring him up? Bring him up now. Then everyone's name.
Are you facing any? And get involved in the comments.
We'll be back.
What? Is he gone? Yeah, get involved in the fucking comments here, boys, and help me out and girls because I'm shit at talking on my own. Oh, fucking this up right now. Where we go? So, Gears Gosses, which modesty differed most from your expectations? Hats off.
Fam's on it.
All right, brilliant. Looked like a roaring success. Did you ask that Gears Goss one?
Yeah.
All right. Right.
So, okay,
are you facing law bar staff who have been propositioned for a nosh? That was something we. No one did that. No. There wasn't any complaints at all. Obviously, they were fucking ecstatic. We'd filled the place out on a Monday night. they thought it was incredible. They thought it was amazing. The people at the bar, because they weren't. I don't think they were prepared. I went to lengths at saying that this is going to be odd. There is going to be here's some things, and we're going to be saying some stuff that won't make much sense. And we're going to have this guy, and he's going to be singing Nasan Dorma opera singing, and you might hear some stuff about Noshin and that. I prepped them, and there might be people walking around with spoons. But they just came over and went, we wasn't expecting that. That was insane.
Did they say that to you?
Yeah.
Well, I don't care. Right, let's keep going. Where are we? Reece Jones, is there a potential for you to do some more live shows or maybe a few more? Would love to come next time. I think we will definitely regroup and go again because I think everyone enjoyed each other's company and not in a noshy sense, in a more of a sort of friendship way. Yeah, because I think that's the good thing is there's a lot of people that turned up on their own and they could talk about, they knew there's a large group of people there who either understand this podcast or understand football. So you could talk about those things. And I think there was quite a few people that got involved.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, people that come on their own as well that were...
There was a guy called Charlie. He was on his own. He said, we were sort of chatting and he said, is it right if I come and chat with you guys? And the two lads were like, yeah. I was like, that is everything.
Yeah, that is everything.
Where are we? Seb Mickey. Hey, Mickey. James, your face after coming out of the toilet having missed the goal was unreal. What's the most important moment? Because that was it. Oh, yeah, there was like a whole crowd there, but I could see the monitor behind them and I was watching the goal go in. I was like, just like jaw dropping. What's the most important moment you've ever missed because you're having a piss?
I missed...
I don't know.
I miss...
Probably that.
Sorry, yeah, no, it was when I missed... I'm sure I've told this before, but I missed Spurs scoring in the League Cup final in 99. Spurs were playing Leicester. We won a trophy that year, one of the few in my entire life. And it was Alan Nielsen scored, but I was taking a piss. I'm sure I've told this before, but I was taking a piss, and I heard a roar, and I ran out with my cock out and ran towards this mass of people. And I'm sure my dick probably touched a lot of men on that day, and it wasn't intentional, but I had a choice. Do I tuck it, or do I miss more of this amazing moment of celebration? It wasn't even like a Champions League trophy. It was a League Cup trophy. And yeah, Dick was out into the crowd. Probably I wasn't thinking much about it at that stage, to be honest. And but yeah, most important thing is that Spurs won. That's what I would say.
Flav, sorry. On that bombshell, I've got to go because he's just been sick.
All right, okay. No worries.
What a great story to end on.
Okay. All right, we'll be back next at the end of the week with me at some stage first.
Yeah. We got to pretty much an hour. I'm sorry guys. It just needs. I need to clean up.
It's cool. I've got a meeting anyway, so it's all good.
All right.
Take care, everyone.
All right. I'll see you Thursday, guys. If you're dry,